It's 9 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, our session will now commence. Shall we all rise?
Good morning, everyone. I now call our 25th regular session to order. Let us begin today's session with our invocation.
In the name of the Father,
Recitation of Panunumpa ng Watawat by Honorable Calixto Salada. Councilor's Creed, may we have Honorable Antonio Octavio. Kindly take your seats. Sec, please proceed with the roll call.
Our Vice Mayor and regular presiding officer is currently out of country, and by virtue of her absence, she issued a memorandum order to Honorable Joar H. Falcon, SB member this municipality, Re, officer in charge. You are hereby designated as OIC Vice Mayor effective January 26 to February 2, 2026 or Monday until the municipal Vice Mayor shall have resumed office. As the OIC, you are hereby authorized to perform the functions attached to the office as well as in attending meetings and conferences on my behalf. For your information and guidance, signed, Honorable Florence Bansuelo Carlos, Municipal Vice Mayor. So, our Municipal Vice Mayor is currently on vacation leave. So, we will proceed. We still have to determine. Only our Vice Mayor is absent, Mr. Presiding.
Thank you, Sec. To comply with our internal rules, may we have somebody to move for the temporary presiding officer?
Mr. Presiding.
Honorable Orbisido.
Good morning, everyone, and to my colleagues. It is my honor to nominate the sitting presiding officer to be the temporary presiding officer to lead this morning sessions.
So, since it was justified that I will be presiding over our session, Sec, kindly proceed with the next subject matter.
For the reading and consideration of our previous minutes, we have the minutes of the 23rd regular session held at the SB Session Hall on January 13, 2026.
Now, please review the minutes of the 23rd regular session. If there are any comments or corrections, kindly raise your right hand. So, hearing none, the minutes of the 23rd regular session of the 20th Sangguniang Bayan is hereby approved.
As presented.
As presented.
For the privilege hour and the question hour, this morning we will have the privilege speech of Councilor Jesse Jubuntuyan regarding the enforcement gaps on the open pipe mufflers and the need for municipal policy reform or harmonization.
Honorable Jesse Buntuyan.
Thank you. Honorable Presiding, honorable members of the 20th Sangguniang Bayan, good morning. I rise today on a matter of serious public concern, one that goes of the heart of fairness in enforcement, credibility in governance, and the protection of public welfare. Barangay Ordinance Number 2, Series of 2020, of Barangay Poblacion was enacted. Our careful deliberation anchored on public health studies and persistent complaints from residents about existing noise, traffic hazard, and community disturbance caused by open pipes and modified mufflers. For years, our barangay has enforced this ordinance strictly. Despite resistance, criticism, and political cost. Our BPATs and TANODs apprehends violators. Vehicles are impounded, mufflers are confiscated, fines are imposed. Yet today, I must report to this body that enforcement has become increasingly difficult. Not because of barangay inaction, but because of systemic inconsistency. Some violators now openly roam the streets of Barangay Poblacion from 5:30 in the afternoon until 2 o'clock in the morning. Fully aware that our barangay enforcement team are on duty and only until 5 o'clock in the afternoon, these riders deliberately exploit that gap. When we seek police assistance, we encounter hesitation because municipally permitted motor shows involving open pipes have been conducted at municipal plaza grounds. Allow me to cite specific instances. Last December 18 to 20, 2025, a 3-day invitation car and motor show was held at municipal plaza ground where motorcycles equipped with open pipes were prominently displayed and operated, emitting ear-splitting noises that some people in public market forced to bear with. And just this January 17, 2026, dozens of motorcycles were open pipe exhaust systems were again showcased at the same venue and even highly visible to the public and to our youth. This exhibition, whether intended or not, send a powerful message to the community that open pipes are acceptable, fashionable, and tolerated. This perception directly undermines barangay level enforcement. Residents asked why riders are penalized on barangay roads while similar vehicles are displayed at municipally permitted events. Our enforcers hesitate. The police become cautious, and the ordinance gradually loses its authority. Honorable members, laws cannot survive selective legitimacy. Barangay cannot effectively discipline motorists when the broader policy environment appears to celebrate the same conduct in public spaces. Let me be clear on another points. Poblacion has not merely complained, we have acted. Last year, during our Malambuon Festival, my office canceled planned circuit racing competition involving motorcycle with open pipe. Despite heavy criticism on social media, vocal opposition from enthusiasts, and personal political race on my part. We have that decision precisely because we did not want to contradict our own ordinance. We chose public welfare over popularity. We absorbed the backlash. We stood by the law. That is why I come before this body today, not to accuse, but to insist on coherence. If barangays are expected to enforce strict prohibitions, then municipal level activities must not unintentionally weaken this effort. If open pipe exhibition will continue to be allowed through municipal permits, then barangays enforcing total bans are placed to untimely and unfair position. In such situation, honorable members, I must speak candidly. If this inconsistency continues, then as punong barangay and as ABC President, I will be compelled to recommend that our sanggunihan, the repeal of Barangay Ordinance Number 2, so that our constituents are not subjected to a regulation that higher level practices appears to contradict. That is not a threat. That is a governance reality. Whether enforce standard together or we accept that the present policy environment has rendered barangay levels regulation ineffective and unfair. I am not advocating for noise population. I am calling for municipal barangay alignment. Therefore, I respectfully urge this body to consider clearly municipal guidelines for permitting motor show involving modified mufflers, time, place, sound level restriction, coordination with barangay and police station, and the possible adoption of unified municipal policy on excessive vehicle noise. Honorable members, the people of Polumulok deserve clarity. They deserve fairness. They deserve rules that are not enforced by day in the barangay and contradicted by night in the public venues. In closing, Mr. Presiding, and honorable members, either we strengthen this regulation together through harmonized municipal actions, or we acknowledge that it is become impossible to sustain at the barangay level and reform the law accordingly. What people do not deserve is contradiction. If I may, Mr. Presiding, I so move for the adoption of the said privilege speech and consider as urgent on today's session. I so move, Mr. President. Thank you.
Speech is considered urgent. Okay, sir, we'll proceed to the next order of business.
For the first reading and referral of proposed measures or communications. Number 1, we have a letter from our municipal mayor dated January 20, 2026, addressed to the honorable members of the Sangguniang Bayan through Honorable Flores S. Bansuelo Carlos, Municipal Vice Mayor, Presiding Officer. Dear ladies and gentlemen, greetings. In pursuit of expanding inclusive education and social protection for vulnerable families in Polumulok, the DSWD, the LGU of Polumulok, and the partner higher education institution will enter into a MOA to implement the Tara Basa tutoring program. This initiative is community-based intervention designed to support elementary learners who are struggling readers and provide socioeconomic opportunities to college students from low-income households. Guided by Executive Order Number 76, Series of 2024, RA Number 12028, and other relevant national directives, the program promotes academic recovery, youth development, and parental engagement through structured tutoring sessions and capacity building modules. It also provides cash for work support to participating students and families, fostering community involvement and educational resilience. In view of the foregoing, the undersigned respectfully request the honorable members to consider the urgent passage of a resolution authorizing the municipal mayor, Honorable Bernie de Palencia, to enter into MOA with the DSWD and a partner higher education institution for the implementation of the Tara Basa tutoring program in the municipality of Polomolok. Attached herewith is the sample MOA for your review and consideration. And this is signed by our municipal mayor, Honorable Bernie de Palencia.
Urgent.
And letter B. It's also a letter from our municipal mayor dated January 21, 2026, addressed to this august body through the Honorable Vice Mayor. Gentlemen and ladies, greetings. Respectfully requesting the honorable members of the Sangguniang Bayan for the urgent passage of a resolution authorizing our municipal mayor to sign a MOA with Pablo L. Yulatic and Beverly B. Abad of the DepEd Public Schools District Office for the grant of monthly meal allowance honorarium amounting to 10,000 pesos for calendar year 2026. And this is signed by our municipal mayor.
Urgent. I-discuss the Quran. Urgent. So, well, okay. Thank you.
And number 2 is a resolution authored by Councilor Dave M. Amor, commending and congratulating Mr. Rafi E. Ormita of Polomolok as the newly elected National Federated President of the Pag-asa Youth Association of the Philippines, ang Kabataan Organisado, or PIAP ako.
Urgent.
And number 3 is fiscal year 2026 General Fund Annual Budget of Barangays, Poblacion, and Sulit. And number 4 is calendar year 2026 Sangguniang Kabataan Annual Budget of Barangay Lamcalyaf.
Committee on Finance and Barangay Affairs, lead committee is Committee on Finance. Three and 4, lead committee is Finance. The number 4 is Committee on Finance and Youth. Lead committee is Finance.
And number 5 is Barangay Tax Ordinance number 1, Series of 2025 of Barangay Lamcalyaf, entitled the Revised Barangay Tax Ordinance of Barangay Lamcalyaf.
Committee on Rules and Finance. Lead committee Rules.
Noted, Mr. Presiding. And number 6 is application for accreditation of the South Mindanao Barbers Association and the K6 Farmers Association.
Committee on Cooperatives and Associations.
Okay, noted, Mr. Presiding. And we have here one late communication dated January 23, 2026, coming from our municipal mayor, addressed to this august body through the Honorable Vice Mayor. Dear ladies and gentlemen, greetings. Reference, General Ordinance number 5, dated November 29, 2022, entitled An Ordinance Establishing the Municipal Training Center in the Municipality of Polomolok, Province of South Cotabato, and providing funds. Therefore, the LGU of Polomolok needs to establish a multi-skills training and assessment center in order to provide educational, agricultural, information and communications technology, and other social services in structural activities designed to enhance the knowledge, skills, and attitudes of intended beneficiaries within the municipality of Polomolok, which will capacitate them to engage in gainful employment and/or entrepreneurship. In view of the above, respectfully request the august body for the amendment of General Ordinance Number 5, dated November 29, 2022, and the urgent passage of an ordinance establishing the local government unit of Polomolok Multi-Skills Training and Assessment Center, LGU Polomolok MST-AC, in the municipality of Polomolok, province of South Cotabato, and providing funds therefore. Please see attached pertinent documents. Thank you and warm regards, signed by our municipal mayor.
Refer to rules. Refer to rules and finance. Kaya may kuha man to. Rules lang. Rules and labor. Rules and labor, the rules will be the lead committee.
Okay, noted, Mr. Presiding. For the committee reports, this morning we have 8 reports calendared. First of which is the committee report of the Committee of the Whole. The Committee of the Whole report. Fifth Committee of the Whole report subject. Letter of our municipal mayor requesting legislative authority for the LGU to negotiate and enter into loan agreement with the DBP to finance several priority development projects. Facts and findings. The Committee of the Whole took up and discussed during its meeting the letter of the Honorable Municipal Mayor requesting legislative authority for the LGU to negotiate and enter into a loan agreement with the DBP to finance the following priority development projects, to wit, 100 million for housing 4PH project, 60 million pesos steel parking building project, 40 million pesos service vehicle acquisition project, 25 million pesos solar panel installation for municipal buildings, and 25 million pesos construction of the 4th floor private rooms at the PGH, or a total loan amount of 250 million pesos. That during the meeting of the Committee of the Whole held on January 13, 2026, the matter was deliberated upon by a majority vote of 6 out of 10 members. It was decided that a feasibility study, or FS, shall be required for the steel parking project, considering that the same is intended to operate as a revenue-generating facility of the LGU in order to determine its financial viability and capacity to pay its loan amortization. The rest of the law proposed projects were not required to submit a feasibility study. That the Committee of the Whole report embodying the foregoing recommendation was submitted to and approved by the Sangguniang Bayan during its plenary session on January 20, 2026, expressly requiring the submission of an FS for the steel parking building project, while allowing the other projects to proceed. That immediately after the plenary session, the Committee of the Whole was reconvened to address the continuing concerns of some members who argued that the LGU must first ascertain our net borrowing capacity, or NBC, as determined by the Bureau of Local Government Finance, or BLGF, before a feasibility study could be undertaken, and that the municipal mayor should first be authorized to secure the loan prior to the preparation of the FS. That in order to clarify the foregoing concerns, the Committee of the Whole requested the presence of the LGU's finance managers, namely the acting municipal treasurer, municipal budget officer, accountant, and the project coordinator to explain matters relating to the loans previously availed of by the LGU during the 19th Sangguniang Bayan, as well as the currently requested loan authority. That as shown in the computer-printed document presented and furnished to the members by the acting municipal treasurer, the LGU has an approved DBP loan or Development Bank of the Philippines loan in the total amount of 530 million pesos, of which 330 million pesos has already been released, leaving an unreleased balance of 200 million pesos. That with respect to the 100 million pesos loan for land acquisition, only 64,962,850 pesos was released and paid to DARBC for the purchase of the subject lot, leaving a remaining balance of 35,037,150 pesos, and that the acquisition of the lot intended for the hog grower facility has not yet been completed due to ongoing negotiations for the donation of lots for access roads, a condition required by the bank prior to any further loan release. That with respect to the loans obtained from the Land Bank of the Philippines, releases were made based on contractors' approved progressive billings as follows. Letter A, 28,207,995 pesos out of the 80 million pesos for the construction of the 3-story additional hospital building at Barangay Pagalungan. Letter B, 60,464,053 pesos out of the 73 million pesos for the completion of the 1-story hospital building at Barangay Pagalungan. Letter C, 333,317,471 pesos out of the 40 million pesos for the installation of traffic lights, the project having been completed. Letter D, 6,774,863 pesos for the construction of the public terminal with comfort rooms. Letter E, 3,769,206 pesos out of the 5 million pesos for the improvement of the children's playground. And letter F, no release yet for the improvement of the municipal gymnasium. That with respect to the proposed 250 million pesos DBP loan, the project coordinator explained that the 100 million pesos thereof will be allocated for the infrastructure component of the LGU's housing project over the lot purchased from DARBC, broken down into 30 million pesos for the construction of 150 horizontal single detached housing units for low-income families and 70 million for the construction of a 5-story tenement building under 4PH project. That when asked by the members whether the municipality of Palomaroc is still allowed to enter into additional loan agreements pursuant to the standards of the Bureau of Local Government Finance or BLGF, the municipal treasurer confirmed that as of date, the LGU has a net borrowing capacity or NBC of 300 million as determined by the BLGF, and that only 250 million thereof will be availed of by the municipal mayor in order to retain sufficient financial leeway for the LGU. That the financial managers clarified that bank loan proceeds are not released in lump sum but are released in tranches corresponding to the contractor's approved progressive billings, and that payment of interest begins to accrue only on each tranche upon its respective release and not on the entire approved loan amount. That after due deliberation, the Committee of the Whole agreed that the preparation of the FS for the steel parking building project shall proceed parallel with the processing of the loan application and not be set aside. That below is a copy of the bank loans with their corresponding approved amounts, descriptions as furnished to the SB Support Services by the Acting Municipal Treasurer, Ms. Mariel Bautista, pursuant to the request of the Sangguniang Bayan members during the aforementioned meeting. This date as acquisition of brand new equipment units, approved amount 150 million pesos, released 149,730,000 pesos. And then construction of hog grower facilities, amount approved 80 million pesos, amount released 0. Acquisition of lot for other development projects, which may include but not limited to the following: government centers, slaughterhouse, hog growing facility, dressing plant, is 100 million. Total amount released 64,962,850 pesos. Total approved amount loan 330 million pesos. Released amount 214,692,850 pesos. And do I still need to read all this, Mr. Presiding, considering that each member has already an individual copy of this? Do I proceed to read? Okay. So, going to the recommendations. Recommendations. 1, that the recommendation contained in the previously approved Committee of the Whole report be amended and or modified by granting the municipal mayor authority for the municipality of Polomolok to negotiate and enter into a loan agreement with the Development Bank of the Philippines covering the 250 million pesos loan with the preparation of the feasibility study to proceed parallel with the loan application processing, and that lastly, a resolution to the foregoing effect be adopted and considered urgent and be taken up by the Sangguniang Bayan in this morning session. And this is submitted by our Municipal Vice Mayor, Honorable Florence Mansuelo Carlos, as Chair of the Committee of the Whole, and concurred in by Councilor Lumayag, Councilor Salada, Councilor Amor, Councilor Baitos, Councilor Buntuyan, Councilor Costas, Councilor Orbisido, Councilor Octavio, Councilor Rivero, Councilor Falcon, and Councilor Ante. That's all, Mr. Presiding.
Whole report will be adopted and be taken as urgent in today's session.
Okay, noted, Mr. Presiding. The next report is a report from the Committee on Transportation, Communication, and Information. Subject: communication from the Office of the Municipal Mayor, dated January 14, 2026, respectfully requesting the Sangguniang Bayan for the urgent passage of a resolution granting authority for the temporary closure of a portion of First Road, Miana Subdivision, Poblacion, Polomolok South, Cotabato, in connection with the 50th foundation anniversary and Thanksgiving celebration of the Union Espiritista Cristiana de Filipinas Incorporated, Polomolok Local Center, starting from 6 a.m. on January 30, 2026 to 12 midnight of February 1, 2026.
Honorable Overo, you have the floor. To be read by Honorable Baitus.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. Peace and blessings, everyone. May buntag sa tanan. This is a second committee report from a subject already mentioned by the Secretary. Facts and findings. Number 1, the above measure was referred to hearing committee for review and proper action on January 20, 2026. Number 2, a committee meeting was scheduled on January 21, 2026 at 9 a.m. in the morning at the SB Session Hall, SB Building, this municipality, for the consideration of the above mentioned measure and was attended by the Traffic Management Unit or TMU head, the UECFI representatives, and the committee members. Number 3, that the committee finds that the requested temporary road closure is necessary and reasonable to ensure the orderly, safe, and successful conduct of the said religious and community activity, considering the expected influx of participants and attendees. Number 4, that the committee emphasizes the need to ensure the smooth flow of traffic during the period of road closure through proper traffic management measures, including the establishment of alternative routes and adequate traffic advisories. Number 5, that the committee further finds it's necessary that all possible disturbances and traffic-related concerns be properly coordinated with the barangay traffic personnel, Barangay Peacekeeping Action Team or BPAT, and the other concerned agencies or individuals, and the neighboring residents and affected stakeholders are duly informed in advance of the scheduled activity to minimize inconvenience and promote community cooperation. Number 6, hence the committee respectfully moves the approval of the said measure, having found it to be consistent with its intended purpose and in proper form. Recommendations. With the foregoing consideration, the committee hereby recommends the following. Number 1, to adopt the committee report. Number 2, to pass a resolution granting authority for the temporary closure of a portion of First Road, Miana Subdivision, Poblacion Pulumulok, South Cotabato, in connection with the 50th Foundation Anniversary and the Thanksgiving celebration of the Union Espiritista Cristiana de Filipinas or UECFI Pulumulok Local Center starting from 6 a.m. on January 30, 2026 to 12 midnight of February 1, 2026, and be taken this as urgent in today's session. Thank you.
The said committee report is adopted and to be taken as urgent in today's session.
And the next report is the joint report from the Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations and Committee on Youth and Sports Development, subject Calendar Year 2026 Sangguniang Kabataan Annual Budget of Barangay Crossing Palkan.
Honorable Costas.
For the 9th Joint Committee Report from the Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations, Committee on Youth and Sports Development, subject is the calendar year 2026 Sangguniang Kabataan Annual Budget of Barangay Crossing Palkan. For the facts and findings, the above subject matter was referred to the herein undersigned Joint Committee for Review and Proper Action on January 13, 2026 during the 23rd regular session of the 20th Sangguniang Bayan. The Joint Committee held a meeting on January 14, 2026 at the Session Hall of the Sangguniang Bayan Building to discuss the budget. Present at the meeting were the committee members along with the SK Chairperson of Barangay Cruising Palcan, Honorable Angelo B. Bacolor. Upon deliberation, the Joint Committee found the following facts: that the barangay concerned has an annual budget of 643,280 pesos and 40 centavos, which was sourced from the 10% SK share of the Barangay 2026 General Fund. The aforementioned budget was appropriated as follow. For the General Administration Program amounting to 292,280 pesos and 40 centavos. For the Capability Building amounting to 280,000. For Gender Sensitivity amounting to 2,000. For Youth Employment and Livelihood amounting to 15,000. For Environment Protection, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Reduction and Management amounting to 32,000, and for Health Services, Anti-Drug Abuse and ARH program amounting to 2,000, for equitable access to quality education amounting to 20,000, with a total expenditure program of 643,280 pesos and 40 centavo. Increasing funding for education-related PPAs, tutorials, digital literacy, scholarship learning hubs, allocate more funds for preventive education, awareness campaigns, and youth engagement activities, focus on programs with long-term impact, especially in education, leadership, development, and youth welfare. Provide clear justification and outcome indicators for SK PPAs during hearing to support approval and build confidence in budget utilization. For the recommendations with the foregoing considerations, and there have been no more discussions and or objections thereto, the Joint Committee agreed to recommend the following. First, to adopt this committee report. Second, to pass a resolution approving the calendar year 2026 Sangguniang Kabataan annual budget of Barangay Cruising Palcan. And third is to consider the said resolution as one of the urgent measure in today's session. Reported by yours truly, concurred by the Chairperson of the Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriation, Honorable Eleazar Gio Vero, and also concurred by the Vice Chairperson of the Committee on Finance, Honorable Calixto B. Salada, Vice Chairperson of the Committee on Youth and Sports Development, Honorable Ligaya R. Bisido, Member of the Committee on Finance, Honorable Joe R. H. Falcon, Member of the Committee on Youth and Sports Development, Honorable Jerome Y. Ante, Member of the Committee on Finance, Honorable Billy Bert C. Baitus, and Member of the Committee on Youth and Sports Development, Honorable Dave M. Amor. So I move, Mr. Presiding.
The said committee report is adopted and be considered as urgent in today's session.
Okay, noted, Mr. Presiding. And the next report is a joint report also, coming from the Committee on Housing, Land Utilization, Zoning, Urban Planning, Public Works, and Utilities, and Committee on Rules, Good Governance and Oversight. Subject, communication from the Office of the Municipal Planning and Development Coordinator, dated November 19, 2025, forwarding to the Sangguniang Bayan through the Committee on Housing, Land Utilization, Zoning, Urban Planning, Public Works, and Utilities, the request of the heirs of Eusebio Dumantay for the reclassification of lot from agricultural zone to residential zone containing an area of 24,683 square meters at Purok, Ichanova, Barangay Poblacion, this municipality.
Honorable Baitus.
Once again, thank you, Honorable Presiding. Peace and blessings to everyone. Maayong buntag sa tanan. This is a 10th Joint Committee Report, January 27, 2026, from and subject already mentioned by the Secretary. Facts and findings. Number 1, that on November 25, 2025, during its 20th regular session, the 20th Sangguniang Bayan of Pulumulok referred the above stated communication to the Joint Committees for appropriate action. Number 2, that on November 26, 2025, the joint committees convened at the Sangguniang Bayan Session Hall attended by the chairpersons, vice chairpersons, and members of both committees together with Engineer Dominador C. Kamiki Jr., Officer in Charge in PDO, Ms. Nestle B. Elisis, Municipal Assessor's Office Head, and Eusebio Dumantay, Representative, and Crisinia T. Dumantay. Number 3, that the heirs of Eusebio Dumantay, represented by Crisinia T. Dumantay, request for land reclassification from agricultural zone to residential zone, specifically lot number 8000-B-2, PSD-11-01701, containing 24,683 square meters with TCT number 40116. The purpose of reclassification of the subject parcels of land situated at Purok Hitsanuba, Barangay Poblacion, Pulumulok, South Cotabato. Number 4, that after the presentation of the technical review report and the conduct of detailed discussions, the Local Zoning Review Committee or LZRC arrive at the following findings and evaluations. A, there is no legal impediment to the proposed reclassification as the subject property is not irrigated. B, mitigating measures and strict compliance with zoning, environmental, and other regulatory guidelines shall be observed. C, the location and its surrounding areas are progressively developing into a residential zone. D, the proposed reclassification will augment the housing requirements of the local government unit. Number 5, the Local Zoning Review Committee, in its evaluation and technical review report dated November 10, 2025, endorse approval through resolution number 002 series of 2025. Number 6, that after due evaluation, the joint committees unanimously found the requests meritorious and favorable for approval, consistent with existing laws, zoning policies, and national regulatory requirements. Recommendations. In view of the foregoing, the committee unanimously recommends that the approval of the land reclassification of Eusebio Dumantay of Purok Hitsanuba, Poblacion, Pulumulok, South Cotabato, from agricultural to residential. Number 1, to adopt this committee report. Number 2, to pass a resolution approving the land reclassification from agricultural zone to residential zone for housing subdivision project of a parcel of land known and identified as lot number 8000-B-2 PSD-11-017011 covered by transfer certificate of title number T-40116 with a total land area of 24,603 square meters to be exact, located at Purok Hitsanuba, Barangay Poblacion, Municipality of Pulumulok, Province of South Cotabato, to consider this matter as one of the urgent measures of today's session. Thank you. (24,683 square meters, to be exact. Thank you.
Report is adopted and considered urgent in today's session.
Okay.
Next, Sec.
Next report is also a joint report from the Committee on Rules, Good Governance and Oversight and Committee on Education. Subject, Barangay Ordinance Number 2, Series of 2025 of Barangay Upper Cleanan, entitled an ordinance providing school supplies to all daycare pupils of Barangay Upper Cleanan, Pulumulok, South Cotabato on the first day of school and providing funds thereof.
Honorable Salada.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Good morning, everyone. First, Joint Committee Report, January 27, 2026, from the Committee on Rules, Good Governance and Oversight, and Committee on Education, subject, as mentioned by the Secretary. Facts and findings. The 28th Sangguniang Bayan, in its 8th regular session, referred the above stated measure to this Joint Committee on Rules, Governance and Oversight, and Committee on Education on November 11, 2025 for proper action. On November 13, 2025, the Joint Committee convened to deliberate on the matter. The meeting was attended by the chairpersons, committee members, Honorable Antonio B. Octavio, 3 barangay kagawads of Upper Cleanan, and barangay secretary who actively participated in the discussions. Number 3, the Joint Committee reviewed the provisions of Ordinance Number 02, Series of 2025, which aims to provide school supplies to all duly enrolled daycare pupils in Barangay Upper Cleanan, and the review focused on the ordinance titled Coverage, Funding, and Operational Implementation. Number 4, the barangay representative informed the Joint Committee that the barangay has only one daycare center with 42 pupils, and that last year's budget for school supplies amounted to 10,000 pesos. Number 5, the committee recommended removing the phrase "on the first day of school" from the ordinance title for clarity and flexibility, resulting in an ordinance providing school supplies to all daycare pupils of Barangay Upper Cleanan, Pulomolok South, Cotabato, and providing funds thereof. Number 6, the committee noted that the ordinance shall cover all duly enrolled daycare pupils within the barangay explicitly, including those in church-based daycare centers, to ensure equitable access to school supplies. Number 7, regarding funding, the committee recommended an initial allocation of more than last year's 10,000 pesos, possibly around 15,000 pesos, from the Barangay General Fund, while also allowing supplemental contributions from external donors or non-governmental organizations, NGOs, to support the program's sustainability. In light of these considerations, the committee recommended consolidating all proposed amendments covering the title, coverage, and funding, and submitting the revised ordinance for legal review prior to final approval. Number 9, barangay representatives committed to incorporating the committee's recommendations and to submit the finalized ordinance within the prescribed time frame. During its review, the committee examined the following reference materials: Draft Ordinance Number 2, Series of 2025, the minutes of the meeting and attendance sheet, and photographs from the public hearing. Number 11, after thorough evaluation, the Joint Committee finds that the ordinance as amended in accordance with its recommendations is lawful, compliant with the local government code, and aligned with the barangay's objectives of providing educational support to young learners, ensuring equitable access to resources, and maintaining proper operational management of daycare services. Recommendations. Number 1, to adopt this committee report. Number 2, to pass a resolution approving Barangay Ordinance Number 2, Series of 2025, Barangay Upper Cleanan, entitled An Ordinance Providing School Supplies to All Daycare Pupils of Barangay Upper Cleanan, Pulomolok South, Cotabato, and providing funds thereof. Number 3, to consider this matter as one of the urgent measures on today's session. Reported by yours truly, concurred by Honorable Isar Jubero, Honorable Ligaya Orbesido, Honorable Angelique Dave Costas, Honorable Bilibert Baitus Jr., Honorable Edward Lumayag, Honorable Jerome I. Anti. So I move, Mr. Presiding Officer.
The said committee report is adopted and considered as urgent in today's session.
Next report is also a joint report from the Committee on Rules, Good Governance and Oversight and Committee on Environmental Protection, Natural Resources, Ecological and Solid Waste Management, and Disaster Risk Reduction and Climate Change. Subject, Barangay Ordinance Number 3, Series of 2025 of Barangay Upper Cleanan, entitled An Ordinance Institutionalizing the Barangay Ecological Solid Waste Management Program of Barangay Upper Cleanan, Pulomolok South, Cotabato, and providing guidelines for the waste segregation, collection, and disposal, creating an institutionalized enforcement system, prescribing penalties for violation, and for other purposes, and this will be followed by the joint report of the Committee on Rules, Good Governance and Oversight and Committee on Environmental Protection, Natural Resources, Ecological Solid Waste Management, and Disaster Risk Reduction and Climate Change. Subject Barangay Ordinance Number 4, Series of 2025 of Barangay Upper Cleanan, entitled An Ordinance Institutionalizing the Use of Siren Warning Device at Barangay Upper Cleanan, Pulumulok South, Cotabato, for public safety and emergency purposes. And lastly, from the Committee on Good Rules, Good Governance and Oversight, and Committee on Health, Nutrition and Sanitation, subject Barangay Ordinance Number 1, Series of 2025 of Barangay Upper Cleanan, entitled A Barangay Ordinance Eradicating Open Defecation Through the Provision of Sanitary Toilets in Every Home in Barangay Upper Cleanan, Pulumulok South, Cotabato, providing guidelines, penalties, and appropriations thereof.
Honorable Salada.
Again, thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. This is the first joint committee report, January 27, 2026, as mentioned by the Secretary. May I proceed with the facts and findings? Number one, the 28th Sangguniang Bayan, in its 8th regular session, referred the above stated measure to this joint committee on rules, good governance and oversight, and environmental protection, natural resources, ecological and solid waste management, and disaster risk reduction and climate change on November 11, 2025 for proper action. On November 13, the joint committee convened to deliberate on the matter. The meeting was attended by the chairpersons, vice chairperson, committee members, and representatives of the Barangay Council of Upper Cleanan, Honorable Barangay Kagawad, John Luis Talusi, Randy Labra, Lani Estribilla, and its Barangay Secretary who participated in the discussions. Number 3, the Joint Committee reviewed the provisions of Ordinance Number 3, Series of 2025, which seeks to implement the Ecological Solid Waste Management Program of Barangay Upper Cleanan. The review focused on the ordinance title, enforcement mechanisms, funding, provisions, penalties and sanctions, and the collection of garbage fees from business establishments. Number 4, the committee observed that the ordinance title, institutionalizing the Ecological Solid Waste Management Program, may be revised to enhance clarity and actionability. Accordingly, it was recommended that the term institutionalizing be replaced with implementing to better reflect the operational intent of the measure. In the same manner, the committee found it appropriate to replace the term institutionalized with creating in the title of Section 5 of the ordinance in order to promote clarity and accuracy. Number 6, with respect to penalties and sanctions, the committee suggested the deletion of provisions on writing warnings and mandatory attendance in barangay ecological solid waste management orientations. In lieu thereof, the imposition of monetary penalties was recommended as follows: 200 pesos for the first offense, 300 pesos for the second offense, and 500 pesos for the third and subsequent offenses for individuals, and a flat penalty of 1,500 pesos per offense for business establishments. Number 7, the committee further observed that the garbage fee collection mechanisms imposed on business establishments require a clarification and formal integration into the barangay tax ordinance to ensure transparency, consistency, and legal compliance. Number 8, the committee also recommended that the ordinance expressly provide for funding in accordance with Republic Act number 9003 and relevant local legislative requirements with an initial appropriation of 200,000 pesos to ensure proper and sustainable implementation of the program. Number 9, in view of the foregoing, the committee recommended the consolidation of all proposed amendments, including revisions to the title, enforcement provisions, penalties and sanctions, and garbage fee collection mechanisms, and the submission of the revised ordinance for legal review prior to final approval. Number 10, barangay representatives committed to revising the ordinance in accordance with the committee's recommendations and timely submitted the finalized copy within the prescribed period. In the course of its review, the committee examined the following reference documents: Draft Ordinance Number 3, Series of 2025, the minutes of a public hearing and attendance sheet, and photographs taken during the public hearing. Number 12, after careful evaluation, and the Joint Committee finds that the ordinance guidelines for waste segregation, collection, and disposal, creating enforcement system, prescribing penalties for violations, providing funds thereof, and for other purposes. In public safety, particularly for the installation of a siren warning system for emergencies, which reflects the barangay's commitment to community preparedness and disaster risk reduction. Number 4, the ordinance provides for the institutionalization and proper use of siren warning device for public safety and emergency purposes. It specifies the operational modes, coverage, radius, testing schedules, and designated personnel authorized to operate the system to prevent misuse. Number 5, proposed operational guidelines discussed included weekly siren warning, weekly siren testing, preferably every Monday at 12 noon as part of routine drills, curfew siren signals at 10 p.m. to notify residents of curfew regulations, emergency alerts for fires, flood, earthquakes, or other urgent situations, use of both continuous and intermittent siren moves to differentiate between types of alerts. Number 6, the committee also discussed the need for proper orientation and information dissemination to the community to ensure security and prevent unauthorized use. Backup or alternate siren devices were suggested to guarantee functionality in the absence of power or during device malfunctions. Number 8, the committee agreed that the ordinance need not include penalty provisions at this time. The focus should be on proper usage, security, and community awareness rather than punitive measures. Number 9, the ordinance was deemed consistent with national and local disaster risk reduction goals, enforcing public safety and preparedness. Minor adjustments were recommended, including revising the title to emphasize implementation rather than institutionalization. Number 10, to ensure sustainability, a funding provision of 20,000 pesos was also proposed. Barangay Aperclinan was therefore instructed to submit a revised ordinance incorporating these clarifications and recommendations. Number 11, the committee reviewed the following reference documents to it: Ordinance Number 4, Series of 2025, the minutes of the public hearing and its attendance sheet, photographs taken during the public hearing. Number 12, as the authority to review and approve barangay ordinances rests with the Sangguniang Bayan, and considering that the revised ordinance is valid, compliant with the local government code, and directly supports the barangay's initiatives for public safety and emergency preparedness, the Joint Committee respectfully favors its approval. Recommendations to adopt this committee report. Number 2, to pass a resolution approving Barangay Ordinance Number 4, Series of 2025 of Barangay Aperclinan, entitled An Ordinance Implementing the Use of Siren Warning Device in Barangay Aperclinan, Palomolok, South Cotabato, for public safety and emergency purposes, and providing funds thereof. Number 3, to consider this matter as one of the urgent measures on today's session. Reported by yours truly, concurred by the Honorable Elishar G. Jovero, Honorable Billy Bert Baitus Jr., Honorable Ligaya R. Lucido, Honorable Jerome Y. Anti, and so I move, Mr. Presiding Officer.
The said committee report is adopted and considered as urgent in today's session.
The last report, second joint committee report, January 27, 2026, from the Committee on Rules, Governance and Oversight, and Committee on Health, Nutrition, and Sanitation. Subject is Barangay Ordinance Number 1, Series of 2025 of Barangay Aperclinan, entitled A Barangay Ordinance Eradicating Open Defecation Through the Provision of Sanitary Toilets in Every Home in Barangay Aperclinan, Palomolok, South Cotabato, providing guidelines, penalties, and appropriation thereof. Facts and findings. Number 1, the 28th Sangguniang Bayan in its 18th regular session referred our stated measure to this joint committee on November 11, 2025 for proper action. Number 2, on November 13, 2025, the committees convened to deliberate on the matter. The meeting was attended by the chairpersons, vice chairperson, committee members, and representatives of the Barangay Council of Aperclinan, the Honorable Barangay Gagawad John Luis Talusi, Randy Labra, Lani Estribella, and its barangay secretary. The committee noted and congratulated Barangay Aperclinan for its consistent recognition in clean and green programs and its achievement of zero open defecation status as officially confirmed by the province. The ordinance provides for the eradication of open defecation through mandatory installation of sanitary toilets in every household with penalties for non-compliance. The committee discouraged the imposition of written warnings, mandatory sanitation seminars, and community service. Instead, it recommended the following monetary penalties for individuals who violate the ordinance. First, offense, 200 pesos. Second offense, 300 pesos. Third and subsequent offenses, 500 pesos. Number 6, the committee likewise considered the possible role of non-governmental organizations and donors in providing construction materials such as hollow blocks and cement. However, concerns were expressed regarding over-reliance on external donors and the potential risk of ghost projects. Number 7, it was emphasized that barangay funds should be the primary source of financing to ensure transparency and accountability. A proposed allocation of 30,000 pesos from barangay funds was discussed for implementation. The committees agreed that community service as a penalty should be discouraged, preferring monetary fines and mandatory seminars to promote compliance and sustainability. The ordinance was consistent with national sanitation goals and supported Barangay Upper Cleanan's initiatives for cleanliness and public health. However, some corrections were needed before it could be approved. Barangay Upper Cleanan was therefore instructed to submit a revised ordinance, and the committee has now received the final amended copy of Ordinance Number 1 showing full compliance with the directives given. Number 10, the committee reviewed the following reference documents to it: Ordinance Number 1, Series of 2025, the minutes of the public hearing and its attendance sheet, photographs taken during public hearing, and the final copy of the revised Ordinance Number 1, Series of 2025. Number 11, as the authority to review and approve barangay ordinances rests with the Sangguniang Bayan, and considering that the revised ordinance is valid, compliant with the local government code, and directly supports the Barangay Zero Opentification Program's goal of eradicating open defecation by ensuring every household has access to sanitary toilets, the Joint Committee respectfully favors its approval. Recommendations to adopt this committee report: to pass a resolution approving Barangay Ordinance Number 1, Series of 2025 of Barangay Upper Cleanan, entitled A Barangay Ordinance Eradicating Open Defecation through the provision of sanitary toilets in every home in Barangay Upper Cleanan, Palomnog South, Cotabato, providing guidelines, penalties, and appropriation thereof. To consider this matter as one of the urgent measures on today's session, reported by yours truly, concurred by Honorable Elisar G. Rivero, Honorable Ligaya Arbisido, Honorable Bilibert Baitos Jr., Honorable Antonio B. Octavio, Honorable Angelic Dave Costas, Honorable Jerome Y. Anti. So I move, Mr. Presiding Officer.
The said committee report is adopted and considered as urgent in today's.
For the calendar of business, unfinished business, we have none. Business for the day, second reading. For our urgent matters, we have 12 items considered urgent. First of which is the privileged speech of Councilor Buntuyan on the enforcement gaps on open pipe mufflers and the need for municipal policy reform or harmonization.
Madam Presiding?
The privileged speech of Honorable Buntuyan is open for deliberation.
Mr. Presiding,
Honorable-
before the deliberation of such measure, this honorable member is moving for a very short recess.
So, recess for pilawala. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes recess. Session is resumed.
During the huddle, Mr. Presiding, there was a discussion among the members of what action will be undertaken to address this problem on the open pipe produced by noise produced by the open pipes, and there was a suggestion that I think Councilor Buntuyan can manifest it in the plenary as to what had been discussed during the recess huddle, Mr. Presiding.
Good morning again, Mr. Presiding. I want to manifest, Mr. Presiding, that the
said my previous speech will be referred to the Committee on Transportation and Barangay Affairs for consultation, and we will invite the all the sponsors together sa ato ang mga naghatag og mga permits, so that to clarify everything and what is the motive of the said motor show.
So it will be referred to Committee on Transportation and Committee on Barangay Affairs. Honorable Salada.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. The mentioned consultation will be in aid of legislation, Mr. Presiding.
Yes, in aid of legislation. So the lead committee would be Transportation. Next, Sec.
The next urgent is the letter of our municipal mayor for his request to consider urgent the passage of a resolution authorizing our local chief executive, Honorable Bernie de Palencia, to enter into MOA with the DSWD and a partner higher education institution or HEI for the implementation of Tara Basa tutoring program in our municipality.
Okay. Mr. Presiding,
Honorable Orbisido.
okay, considering the exigency of this measure, of this program, this is in partnership with the a program from the Department of Social Welfare, the SWD, a local government unit, and in partnership with higher education institution. And this is to address the problem, the reading gap in the educational system of this country. And this is being done every year. So with this, I am moving to pass a resolution authorizing the municipal Honorable Bernie Palencia to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Social Welfare and Development and in partnership with the higher education institution for implementation of the Tara Basa training program in the municipality of Polomolok.
So it has been moved and seconded. The resolution is approved.
On
Thank
unanimous
you.
sponsorship, Mr. Presiding.
All right.
Okay, the next urgent is also the letter from our municipal mayor for the urgent passage of a resolution authorizing our local chief executive to sign a MOA with Pablo L. Ulatic and Beverly B. Abad of the DepEd Public Schools District Office for the grant of monthly meal allowance or honorarium amounting to 10,000 pesos for calendar year 2026.
Presiding.
Honorable Orbisido is recognized.
Again, I would like to suggest that this measure be referred to the Committee on Education and Finance. Okay, thank you.
So the said measure is referred to the Committee on Education and the Committee on Finance. The lead committee would be Education.
Okay, noted, Mr. Presiding. And the number 4 urgent is a resolution authored by Councilor Dave Amor commending and congratulating Mr. Rafi Ormeta of Polomolok as the newly elected National Federated President of the Pag-asa Youth Association of the Philippines, ang Kabataang Organisado or PIAP Ako.
Honorable Amor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Now that Mr. Rafi E. Ormita was officially proclaimed as the National PIA President on December 1, 2025 at the Batasang Pambansa Complex, Constitution Hills, Quezon City, I would like to pass a resolution commending and congratulating Mr. Rafi E. Ormita of Polomolok as the newly elected National Federated President of the Pag-asa Youth Association of the Philippines, ang kabataang organisado PIA PACO. I would like to manifest also, Mr. Chair, that this resolution will be co-sponsored by all the members of the 20th Sangguniang Bayan present. So I move.
So it has been moved and duly seconded. The resolution is approved. Next, Sec.
Next, urgent is the report of the committee of the whole regarding the 250 million pesos additional loan to be applied to the Development Bank of the Philippines as requested by our municipal mayor.
Honorable Jubero.
May I know from the Secretary if we have a draft resolution with regards to this matter? Wala. Okay, so I move now to pass a resolution giving authority to the municipal mayor of the municipality of Pulumulok to negotiate and enter into a loan agreement with the Development Bank of the Philippines covering the 250 million loan in the loan lang. Okay. Period.
There is a caveat to that, Mr. Presiding. Pursuant to what was agreed during that meeting of the Committee of the Whole, which is the
Feasibility
loan
study.
processing or the preparation of the feasibility study on the still part or the feasibility study shall proceed parallel with the application of the loan.
We will add
Where
one
assess?
year assess
One where assess.
to consider that suggestion.
Yes, it may be
Mr. Presiding.
among the one of the verses or as part of the resolve further
Yes,
portion.
So it has been moved and duly seconded. With unanimous sponsorship, the resolution is approved. Next.
Okay, noted, Mr. Presiding. And to proceed, we have number 3. Number 6. Yes. Next, urgent is the committee report of the Committee on Transportation and Communications and Information. Subject, communication from the Office of the Municipal Mayor dated January 14, 2026 on the resolution granting authority for the temporary closure of portion of First Road, Miana Subdivision, Poblacion, Pulumulok, South Cotabato in connection with the 50th foundation anniversary and Thanksgiving celebration of the Union Espiritista Cristiana de Filipinas Incorporated, Pulumulok Local Chap Center, starting from 6 a.m. on January 30, 2026 to 12 midnight of February 1, 2026.
Thank you again, Honorable Presiding. I move now to pass a resolution granting authority for the temporary closure of a portion of First Road Miana Subdivision, Barangay Poblacion, Pulumulok, South Cotabato, in connection with the 50th foundation anniversary and Thanksgiving celebration of the Union Espiritista Cristiana de Filipinas, Pulumulok Local Center from 6 a.m. of January 30, 2026 until 12 midnight of February 1, 2026. Author, Honorable Eliazar G. Jovero. Co-author, Honorable Bilibert C. Baitus Jr. Co-sponsors, all committee members. So I respectfully move, Honorable Presiding. Thank you.
It has been moved and duly seconded. The resolution is approved.
And next, urgent, is the calendar year 2026 Sangguniang Kabataan Annual Budget of Barangay Crossing Palkan.
Honorable Costas.
Mr. Presiding, I move for the approval of a resolution approving the calendar year 2026 Sangguniang Kabataan Annual Budget of Barangay Cruising Palkan, Polomloc, South Cotabato, amounting to 643,280 pesos and 40 centavos. Author by Honorable Eleazar Giovero, co-authored by yours truly, co-sponsors all committee members. So I move, Mr. Presiding.
So it has been moved and duly seconded. The resolution is approved.
The next urgent is the request for of the heirs of Eusebio Dumantay for the reclarification of lot number 8000-B-2 PSD-11-017011 with transfer of certificate number T-400116 from agri zone to residential zone containing an area of 24,683 square meters at Poroque, Chanauba, Barangay Poblacion, this municipality.
Honorable Baitos.
Once again, thank you, Honorable Presiding. I move now to pass a resolution approving the land reclassification from agricultural zone to residential zone for a housing subdivision project of a parcel of land known and identified as lot number 8000-B-2 PSD-11-017011 covered by transfer certificate of title number T-40116 with a total land area of 24,683 square meters located at Poroque, Chanuba, Barangay Poblacion, Municipality of Pulumulok, Province of South Cotabato. Author, yours truly, Honorable Bilibert C. Baitus Jr., co-authors, Honorable Calexto B. Salada, MD, and Honorable Eleazar G. Jovero, co-sponsors, all members of the joint committees. So I respectfully move, Honorable Presiding. Thank you.
It has been moved and duly seconded. The resolution is approved.
Next urgent is the approval of Barangay Ordinance Number 2, Series of 2025 of Barangay Upper Cleanan, entitled an ordinance providing school supplies to all daycare pupils of Barangay Upper Cleanan, Polomloc, South Cotabato on the first day of school and providing funds thereof, and this will be followed by the approval of Barangay Ordinance Number 3, Series of 2025 of also Barangay Upper Cleanan, entitled an ordinance institutionalizing the Barangay's Ecological Solid Waste Management Program of Barangay Upper Cleanan, Polomoloc, South Cotabato, providing guidelines for the waste segregation, collection, and disposal, creating an institutionalized enforcement system, prescribing penalties for violations and for other purposes, and then Barangay Ordinance Number 4, Series of 2025, also of the same barangay, entitled an ordinance institutionalizing the use of a siren warning device in Barangay Upper Cleanan, Polomoloc, South Cotabato for public safety and emergency purposes. And lastly, Barangay Ordinance Number 1, Series of 2025 of the same barangay, entitled an ordinance eradicating open defecation through the provision of sanitary toilets in every home in Barangay Upper Cleanan, Polomoloc, South Cotabato, providing guidelines, penalties, and appropriation thereof.
Honorable Salada.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. I move now to pass a resolution approving Barangay Ordinance Number 2, Series of 2025 of Barangay Upper Cleanan, entitled an ordinance providing school supplies to all daycare pupils of Barangay Upper Cleanan, Polomoloc, South Cotabato, and providing funds thereof. Author, yours truly, co-author Ligay Arbisido, Elizar Jovero, and Angelic Dave Costas, and co-sponsors, all honorable SB members of the Joint Committee.
Second.
It has been moved and duly seconded. The resolution is approved.
Next, Mr. Presiding, I move to pass a resolution approving Barangay Ordinance Number 3, Series of 2025 of Barangay Upper Cleanan, entitled An Ordinance Implementing the Barangay Ecological Solid Waste Management Program of Barangay Upper Cleanan, Pulamalok South, Cotabato, providing guidelines for waste segregation, collection, and disposal, creating enforcement system, prescribing penalties for violations, providing funds thereof, and for other purposes. So I move, Mr. Presiding.
So it has been moved and duly seconded. The resolution is
The
approved.
author, Honorable Calixto Bisalada, MD, co-authors, NHR Jovero, Honorable Bilibert Paituson Jr., and co-sponsors, all committee members of the Joint Committee. Next is, Mr. Presiding, is a resolution approving Barangay Ordinance Number 4, Series of 2025 Barangay Upper Cleanan, entitled An Ordinance Implementing the Use of Siren Warning Device in Barangay Upper Cleanan, Pulamalok South, Cotabato, for public safety and emergency purposes, and providing funds thereof. Author, yours truly, co-author, Honorable Eliasar G. Jovero, Honorable Bilibert Paitus Jr., and co-sponsors, all committee members of the Joint Committee. So I move, Mr. Presiding.
It has been moved and duly seconded. The resolution is approved.
Lastly, a resolution approving Barangay Ordinance Number 1, Series of 2025 of Barangay Upper Cleanan, entitled A Barangay Ordinance Eradicating Open Defecation through the provision of sanitary toilets in every home in Barangay Upper Cleanan, Pulamalok South, Cotabato, providing guidelines, penalties, and appropriations thereof. Author, Honorable Calixto Bisalada, MD, co-author, Honorable Eliasar G. Jovero, Honorable Ligaya Arbisido, co-sponsors, all honorable members of the Joint Committee. So I move, Mr. Presiding Officer.
It has been moved and duly seconded. The resolution is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Estrada. Sec.
For the scheduled second reading, we have two ordinances calendared in this morning session. First ordinance is the grant of an additional honorarium in the amount of 2,000 pesos per month to all accredited child development workers or BCDWs in the municipality of Pulamalok, province of South Cotabato, and the ordinance providing an additional 500 peso birthday cash gift in addition to the existing 1,500 pesos birthday cash gift for a total of 2,000 pesos to all registered senior citizens 60 years old and above in the municipality of Pulamalok, South Cotabato, as well as the resolutions, its corresponding resolutions. And all these measures are authored by SB member Eliasar G. Jovero.
Mr. Presiding,
Honorable
good
Arbisido.
morning. It is an honor to be tasked to be reading these measures at hand. So allow me to read first the resolution. A resolution enacting an ordinance granting an additional honorarium in the amount of 2,000 pesos per month to all our accredited child development workers, BCDWs, in the municipality of Pulumulok, province of South Cotabato, and providing funds therefore. Author of this is Honorable Eliasar Jovero, and your co-author, Honorable Orbisido. And of course, upon approval of this, I would like to suggest that all members present will be the co-sponsors. Whereas Republic Act Number 160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of 1991, vests local government units with the authority to promote the general welfare of their constituents and to enact measures that ensure the effectivity of delivery of basic services, particularly those that uplifts the welfare of children and families. Whereas Republic Act Number 8980, otherwise known as the Early Childhood Care and Development, or ECCD Act of 2000, recognizes the vital role of child development workers, or formerly known as daycare workers, in implementing early childhood care, nutrition, education, and development programs at the level. Whereas child development workers serve as frontliners in safeguarding the health, nutrition, safety, and early education of children aged 0 to 4 years, particularly geographically dispersed and economically challenged communities within the municipality of Pulumulok. Whereas, despite the increasing scope and complexity of their functions, many child development workers receive minimal compensation, which may affect moral retention and the sustainability of quality ECCD services. Whereas, an additional monthly honorarium is a practical and fiscally responsible measure to recognize their contribution, motivate continued service, and strengthen the delivery of ECCD programs without creating an employer-employee relationship with the municipality. Whereas, the municipal government of Pulumulok through its Sangguniang Bayan is committed to investing in early childhood development as a long-term strategy for human capital formation, social protection, community development. Wherefore, premises considered on motion of SB Member Jovero, duly seconded by all members present, the body resolved as it is hereby resolved to enact the following ordinance. I know that every member of this hall, SB member of this hall, has a copy. And finally, we are on hand to read the provisions of this ordinance. Now, may it be known to everyone that our last increase to the daycare workers or the ECCD workers natin took place 3 years ago pa. No, we did increase 1,000 for them, and today it is but high time. Hindi naman ako, I hope as a teacher, I am appealing to you because we are about to deliberate what are the provisions of this ordinance. An ordinance granting an additional honorarium in the amount of 2,000 pesos per month to all accredited child development workers or BCDWs in the municipality of Pulumulok, province of South Cotabato, and providing funds therefore. So, I would like to request the members, if you have some questions, clarifications, the author as well as this honorable member are ready to address your concern. Thank you, Mr. Presiding.
Honorable Salada is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. In the resolution titled Enacting Ordinance Granting an Additional Honorarium in the amount of 2,000 pesos per month, in the whereases, there is no mention of what is now the amount that the daycare worker is receiving. May I know, for curiosity, how much are they receiving now? Because there is no mention in the whereases.
Would like to address that concern, Mr. Presiding, to the author himself.
Honorable Jovero.
For the information of Honorable Salada, our daycare worker is not receiving the same amount. It depends on the length that they serve per month from the start they serve in their respective daycare center. So our municipality is not have no standard amount for every daycare worker. No. So the longer they serve, meaning to say, the higher amount that they get from the municipality and the province. But if they're a new daycare worker, medyo minimal lang, around 1,500.
Mr. Presiding, additional info also, not only to Councilor Salada, of course, to all of us. I think one consideration is the length of service. Another is the income of the barangay where they belong. Pag malaki ang barangay, yung kanilang budget, malaki-laki din. But for those who are receiving very small NTA, less din ang ma-receive ng ating daycare workers.
Okay, Honorable Lumayag.
Thank you, Mr.
Honorable
Presiding.
Salada.
Just a question to the proponent also. May we know how many are already working as accredited child development workers in the whole municipality of Pulumulok? Para lang meron tayong idea. Pila na tanan?
As of now, we have 84 daycare workers serving the municipality.
84. Okay. Honorable Salada.
That is also my question. But I understand that the daycare workers received from the barangay as well as from the municipal. Is that right, Councilor Rivero?
Our daycare worker received from the barangay, municipality, and the province. So the highest daycare worker received the longer they served around 7,500. Total, pinakataas na siya.
Okay, thank you. Do you think, Councilor Guy, the additional 2,000 is compensable with the...
That is a very heartwarming question. Kasi as a teacher, sana ito na maximize during the committee report. Originally, the amount was only 1,000. Sanabi ko because I can relate to it, I was then a kinder teacher. Napakahirap po. But during the committee meeting, talagang dinoble na, no? Thank you sa committee members na instead of asking for a 1,000, ginawa na 2,000. Mas maganda sana if that warrants kung pwedeng imoon 3,000 or what, but momentarily, that was the result of the committee meeting that at this point in time, we can make it 2,000. Pero kung ano ba, sapat ba yon? Parang hindi sapat. Pero siguro, we have also to consult our fiscal management, di ba, sa ato ang budget. But for the moment, pwede naman sa sunod tuig, sa 3 years from now, pwede gani, no, maabot na they can receive just like our MSBs, kaya napakahirap talaga magturo ng mga maliliit na bata. Thank you for the concern.
Honorable Octavio.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. Sa committee authors committee authors sa ordinance. May pamangkot lang ko kung ang mga teachers ba are still collecting from the parents para ma-compensate pod ang ilang effort sa pagtudlo. Kay before, during my time as barangay captain, some of the daycare teachers nagakolekt sila og 100 per parents per month. So maano man po nato na siyang dako-dako po ang ilang makolekta. Kay most of the I believe na ma-consider siya as ma-accredit siya kung ang iyang number of enrollees is a minimum of 30, di ba? So amo na siya na times may additional siya if she or he collect 100 per parents, naapa siya additional nga 3,000 sa iyang honorarium. Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
To answer that query, actually some daycare worker is not collecting already to the parents. Kasi ang nakita nila, nag-start sila sa 50 pesos na contribution from the parents. Sa 50 pesos lang gani, hindi makahatag sa 50 pesos ang mga parents. Ang reason nila na sa hirap ng buhay, so that some daycare teacher hindi na nag-pursue tong plano nga mga hatag sa mag-ask ng assistance from the parents sa 50 pesos. So some nga gwapo ang lugar, nag-contribute sila. So depende sa location ng barangay. Kasi sa mga part-blank barangay, usually, atong mga daycare teacher, wala na sila nag-collect from the parents. Oo. Oo.
Yeah, I may add, Mr. Presiding, tama yun. Maswerte yung daycare kung Canary siya, poblasyon siya, or magsaysay. But all other Parplang barangays, voluntary on their part, and that is always the laments of our daycare na sila mismo maluoy magkulikta. It is not mandated on them, it is on voluntary, service.
All right. So any more?
If there are no more clarifications, I am moving for the approval first of the resolution. Adungan na lang, resolutions as well as the ordinance granting additional honorarium in the amount of 2,000 pesos per month to all our accredited child development workers in the municipality of Polomolok, province of South Cotabato, and providing funds thereof. Sino ang author? Wala naman ito. Buda sa wala may penalties. Yeah.
There's a motion to approve the resolution and the ordinance. So, any second motion? So it has been moved and seconded. The resolution and the ordinance is now approved.
The resolution and the ordinance are approved on the second reading with author Councilor Rivero and sponsor Councilor Orbisido.
To clarify, the authored by Councilor Rivero, co-sponsored by Councilor Orbisido, and co-sponsors all members present. Okay, yun.
All
Tama yun,
members.
Sec. All
members of the 20th Sangguniang.
Okay.
Noted. So next,
Okay, the next subject matter scheduled for second reading into decision, Mr. Presiding, I request that this be deferred for the moment and be calendared next session.
referred to the committee? Deferred lang, deferred. All right. So, the said resolution is deferred and to be put up, tackled in the next session. Unfinished business.
So this ordinance and resolutions found in number 2 are deferred and be calendared under the unfinished business in the next regular session. Okay, for the third and final reading, we have none. Unassigned business, none. Let's go now to the announcement.
Honorable Lumayag, then Honorable Baitus.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. Announcement for the Committee on Cooperatives and Associations Committee meeting tomorrow, 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, after the Committee on Association, we have the Committee on Education tomorrow also. Thank you.
Honorable Presiding, announcement, we have a committee meeting tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning, Barangay Ordinance of Siloay 8, the Anti-Chismis Ordinance. Thank you.
All right. Any more? I would like to also inform the August body that there's a communication from the punong barangay of Barangay Glamang. I'll just read the